What is up, y'all? It is another Mental Man Monday on a Tuesday. Got throw that in there. Happy to be here with you all. And yeah, it's a lot going on in a good way. I'm going to save some stuff for my vlog. So I said I was going to have a vlog that I had recorded, literally recorded it, did my B-roll, and I just scratched it. But it's okay because this one I'm about to do is going to be a short one, just give you a life update of a lot of things and trying to make it really like 12, 15 minutes, somewhere between there, or even less. I don't want it to be long. I don't want it to be long at all. So you've seen today's title, and we're going to cover a few things. Obviously, the season ended with episode 5, track 5 with Amrock, and like I said on there, that was the season finale. And so until the new season comes, we'll just be recapping. They're gonna want to try something new. Let me see how it works today. But recapping, not recapping, just the same module, same structure, going over things that happen currently, and they pertain to men, giving my take on them and all that. So the first one we're gonna talk about is actually a TikTok video from a known creator, and I want to try this style, see how this works. But I said in the title, we need to repent for gluttony. So we're gonna watch this video real quick, and
Do y'all see what I mean? Like, we gotta get back to the stand alone snaps. What happened to just a regular Biscoff cookie being enough? What happened to a regular cheesecake being enough? What happened to a regular egg roll being enough? For a quick little snack. Nah, we gotta add 3 in 1. Biscoff cheesecake, egg roll. And they had a side of ice cream. Y'all, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's okay to snack. It's okay to snack. But this new generation got a new definition of snacking. A snack now, on average, got 1,200 calories. Back in the day, a snack quick look 150, 200 calories. You feel me? Now, you know what I mean? Something slight. Y'all are overdoing it, and it's scaring me. Like, y'all keep laughing and laughing, bro. I'm scared. I think we're headed towards like the biggest generation based off the food. I'm just going off the food. I think we finna have one of the biggest generation to come.
Okay, so let's unpack this because he got a point. So first off, if y'all haven't seen, they are doing the Biscoff cheesecake. They're trying to emulate or replicate the Japanese cheesecake, and then what they're doing is they're putting the cookies in it, and they let it sit overnight, and then you just kind of scoop it along. So now they have the calorie-friendly one. I've seen a keto one. They have the low calorie, and they have the regular one, the fat one, where people are now getting, because they took it from using like the low fat yogurt, or you're not cheap, but like the Greek yogurt, and they're going to get the big no bake cheesecake, filling it up with Biscoff cookies, and then letting that sit overnight, and then they're adding strawberry preserves, or not really preserves, but like the filling on top. So they're just making this a big back attack. And here's the thing with the big back attack. I'm all for it from time to time, but here's the thing. There's always a viral snack that comes about. Always, right? And that's not no issue, because it's just how it is. It's always a viral dessert or always a viral recipe, and that's great. But I seen a chili pot pie that I thought was nice, where it was a chili pot pie baked in the cornbread. I thought that would be good. Now that's good. But it looked good. I guess I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the Biscoff cheesecake don't look good. It looks great. However, here's the thing. This is the month of Jan. Let me not jump ahead of myself because I got a lot to say. So let's get into the first. What does this have to do with mental health? So the study of how we act, think, and feel. Not everybody. I'm only talking to the believers who are partaking. Everybody's church does things differently. Some people just like to use January for their own personal cleanse. Some people do it along with their church. But this is a month for preparation for the new year. And typically, people fast this month. They have dry January. People do the Daniel fast with their church and whatever variation y'all do it in. Don't get into the Saints coming talking about some, oh, it technically wasn't a fast, it was a consecration, whatever. We know, but they call it that. They don't say the Daniel consecration, they say the Daniel fast. So when you see treats like that, how what are the odds of you staying consistent with your diet? Because remember, summer, and they keep making the joke saying summer is 4 months away, and so many days, and y'all eating Biscoff cheesecakes. And if you get the study of how we act, think, and feel, someone who's on a weight loss journey again and in a body transformation stage, trying to do both, state, whatever you want to call it. What was I finna say? What's what I want to say? You're gonna be upset when you get on that scale, or when your summer come and your body still look like it's been looking, and you want something different. You get what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I get it. We deserve a sweet treat here and there. And I seen somebody do one. I told you, got the low carb ones, they got the low calorie ones, and I saw somebody do like a one where it's like you get the individual cheesecakes and you just do it in like one little compartment. Like if you did that, that'd be cool. People getting the whole tubs, finishing the whole tub in a day. And they wonder why they're sick, and they wonder why they can't lose no weight. Then you be talking about some, oh, I'm just gonna be big forever. Like, it's your fault. WWID. What would I do in this situation? So, like I said, if I was to go do this, and I'm not knocking it, because at the end of the day, you gotta understand, people you have to reward yourself. You have to eat treats from time to time, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if I was gonna do it, I would do like the little one, the little one where it's like compartmentalized, or is that the word I want to use? I'm trying to take this thing off my head, y'all. Hold on. Don't sound like ASMR. But take the little ones and just have like a little taste, have a little morsel. I wouldn't go get no whole big old biscuit. I don't trust myself. This time I done literally threw food away and sprayed it with roach spray. You serious about your weight loss journey when you take a favorite dessert or something and you take a piece of it and you throw it in the trash and spray it with air freshener and or roach spray. That's when you're serious about your weight loss journey. The ones that know. When you're serious, that's what you do. I'm telling you, it's and you say why spray roach spray so that you're tempted to eat it. Some people are like, well, if I throw it in the trash, I ain't gonna eat it. I mean, what if it's covered? You know what I mean? Now, if it ain't covered, that's trifling. But what if it's like covered, it was still in the bag? You know what I mean? I'm not saying I dig through trash. I'm just saying temptation is there. So again, what would I do in the situation? If it was me, I would definitely be cautious of how I did it, and I would do little, portion control. WWJD, what would Jesus do? He would tell you to repent for gluttony, because y'all some gluttons. And I have my moments, but that's what this season I feel like is about. I don't know. I think if you bombard yourself using an algorithm, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but as a matter of fact, we're going to jump in. What should men do? If you're on a weight loss journey, body transformation journey, bombard your algorithm. Go and spam liking all people trying to losing weight in the gym, because eventually that's all your algorithm going to be. And so when searching, TikTok, Instagram, you're going to see people losing weight, body transformation. Thank God for this. So then that's where you could say, this could be me too. So that way you're not caught up in, looking down on yourself and things of that nature. So that's the trick you can do to overcome the spirit of gluttony. And of course, prayer and consecration. So overcome, because it can be a lot. It can be a lot. All right, y'all. So let's get into the next topic for today. So now the next topic we're going to talk about is Kanye West. He's back. It's giving clone, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So Ye said undiagnosed brain injury fueled past outbursts, and he thanks Black community in open letter. So he is taking a serious and unexpected step toward making amends, purchasing a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal to share an open letter that is being called his most sincere moment in years, moving away from the cryptic social media posts we've seen in the past. Ye is finally connecting dots between his public behavior and medical crisis. In his letter, he revealed that in 2002, the car accident famously broke his jaw, caused an injury to his right frontal lobe that went unnoticed for 20 years. The deeper injury on one side of the skull went unnoticed. He shared, explained that his medical oversight wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023 and played a massive role in his struggle with bipolar type 1. Now I don't know if I'm gonna read all that. He sums it up here. I'll give y'all a chance to read it. He lost touch with. I'm gonna kind of skim it because of time. He lost touch with reality. Things got worse the longer I got ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I love the most, I treated words. You endure fear, confusion, humanity, humiliation, and the exhaustion of trying to have someone who was at times unrecognized. Looking back, I became detached from my true self. To the Black community, which held me down through all of my highs and lows, the darkest moments. The Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. It's a lot. Talks about having bipolar. We'll read the end. So as I found my new baseline and new center through an effective regimen of medication regime, like off living single, medication therapy, exercise, and clean living, I have newfound much needed clarity. I'm pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing design, and other new ideas to help the world. I'm not asking for sympathy or for a pass. I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply ask for your patient understanding as I find my new home. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. What we thinking? What we thinking? Let's go into the first part, which is what does it have to do with mental health? So, bipolar, his mental health has always been off. People have always stated that he's been off since his mom died. He's always been off. A different thinker because I'm off, but in a diagnosable is diagnosable a word? Hey Siri, is diagnosable a word?
Yes, diagnosable is a word.
Okay.
It is an adjective.
Okay, diagnosable. Had to make sure because you ain't about to have me saying I don't know how to use words. But he is a person who, name one genius that ain't crazy, a line I use to this day, because me. He is one of those people where something wrong with him and people give him grace, but then at the same time, because I do believe in conspiracy theories, we have had the episode, he did say, he was in the car or truck reading those text messages about how the people said, if you don't stop, this is what we're going to do to you, Kanye. This is what we're going to do to you. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, we're going to put you back on medication. No one's going to believe you. It was a video. He was in the truck. He was going on one of his rants. Y'all remember that? So it's like, I don't trust the industry. And they said it was going to make him look crazy again. So, I'm not saying two things can be true at the same time. And we're going to move on to the next part. What would I do in this situation? So what happens in a situation, getting off that the grand scheme and getting off the topic and going to the grand scheme of things. So the grand scheme, what happens when you are in a position where you did something, you didn't get something checked out, and you lashed on everyone around you? So he apologized. He said he was wrong. He publicly apologized. And you know what? And I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just questioning whether or not he actually said that. If you catch my drift for the conspiracy people. But what I'm big on is apologies and public apologies. If someone will publicly shame and attack you, they need to publicly apologize. I told myself, if anybody ever attacked me publicly again, they would never be able to they would have to publicly apologize. There's no more private apologies. I'm not accepting no more private apologies. If you're going to publicly disrespect me, you're going to publicly apologize. Am I being petty? Lord, correct me. But I think that's boundaries. I think that's fair. Maybe I'm wrong, but what would Jesus do? So, the right thing, and this is the right thing. And sometimes you don't apologize because you're wrong. Sometimes you apologize because it's truly the right thing to do. You know what I mean? And he's apologizing because it is the right thing to do, but he's apologizing to a community where it's like they have a lot of control, and what should men do? So what should men do in this situation? Always apologize if you're wrong, but don't apologize because you feel like you have to if you don't mean it, even if it looks sincere. And I want y'all to read between what I'm saying. Only apologize if you mean it, not because you have to. All right, y'all, let's move on to the final topic. I told you I'm going to be quick. Final topic for today, and I need the content. Final topic for today. Compliments again, a baller alert. Celebrities are deleting TikTok after claiming ICE videos are being blocked. The several celebrities said TikTok was limiting their videos about ICE. Comedian Meg Stalter announced she was deleting her account, claiming the platform's ownership was blocking her from uploading posts critical of the agency. She known for her breakout role in Hacks told Instagram on Sunday night that TikTok is under new ownership and we are being completely censored and monitored. Other public figures like musician Phineas, TikTok leadership disputed claims the platform was censoring content. Comes from widespread outage on the shooting of death of Minneapolis resident Alex Pretty by federal immigration agents on January 24th during the protest against ICE. He's a 37-year-old ICU nurse who had no criminal record and a lawful gun permit was killed in Minneapolis, sparking large demonstration demands for federal agents and to leave the city. News we made and we have to go. My TikTok has been tripping since the U.S. took over. Never been on a day in my life. Okay. I might get canceled for this. Let's see. Let's get into the first part, which is what does this have to do with mental health? Study of how we act, think, and feel. You know me. Whenever everyone in the world, especially Hollywood figures, are being led to or leading a charge against something, a lot of times I question it. And I question its genuinity. Hey, Siri, is genuinity a word?
Yes, genuinely is a word.
No, I said genuinely. Okay, no, that's not what I meant. I question how genuine they are. And people gonna go on a rage. Well, I did this. Hear me out. This is what this podcast is for. The live stream is for. I just feel like when it comes to how we act, think, and feel, I'm always gonna question everything that these high elites want to do and go against. All of a sudden, they want to go against, not all of a sudden, but they want to go against TikTok and all this. And a lot of the points that they make for what? Look, I'm a deep thinker, critical thinker, and I'm a debater. They make great sense. But I'm just always going to question it because I'm just not going to jump in. Oh, let me delete my Twitter, my TikTok. Let me go delete my TikTok. There's censorship because let me go delete. Oh, no, because this. And everybody, every influencer speaking out, every elite, some of which I know or can tell allegedly worship Satan are speaking out. I'm going to do my more research, but I'm going to speak on the act of it right now because I've never fallen into groupthink. So WWID, what would I do in this situation? Well, I'm not deleting my TikTok. You know, how do I feel about ICE? When it comes to ICE, my honest opinion, I believe that ICE was set up with the intent to help the American people. I do. But I then believe in the same breath that the people who work in ICE are abusing their power. That's what I believe. So them people killing people and unaliving people and taking them and ripping them apart, that's horrible. That's not good. There is no justification for that. There's a way to go about it if they was going to do it. I believe those people are abusing their power. And that's the issue at hand, because if you're talking about removing people or taking them back to where the country they came from, of course, there's always an exception to the rule. There's moments where it's like, okay, this is not right. And that's not right. Where, do I support ICE? No, I'm just being realistic. I'm just being realistic from the angle of why it was started and where we are now. How many things were started one way and then it became something else? Like I said, I don't agree with how they're going about it, but and we should say F ICE and kill ICE, and I'm not joining that bandwagon. That I'll never do. WWJD, what would Jesus do? So here's the thing. Would Jesus support ICE? No, I don't believe so. And if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. I don't believe Jesus would support ICE. But what is the ethically and morally correct thing to do? And this is something most people don't want to adhere to when it comes to any president. And now, again, anybody knows politics with me, I know what's going on. I look at politics as the left wing and the right wing of the same bird. So when people get to, you're this supporter, no, I'm not. Oh, you're this supporter? No, I don't. But what I will say is this. No, unless the law of the land is, I'm talking to the believers. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but unless the law of the land goes against what Jesus said and the meaning and the practices of the Bible and the laws of the Bible, we have to honor who's in charge. It doesn't mean we have to like. Same with your job. You don't like your boss, but you have to honor them. And that's something most people don't want to hear. That doesn't mean get a Make America Great Again hat. That doesn't mean make them your wallpaper. That doesn't mean this. But you cannot call, and some of y'all ain't believers, and that's fine. But if you call yourself that, this is what we have to do. And that's Bible. I can't. You know what I mean? Don't get into, well, you didn't follow this part. It's all there. And we have to do the best that we can, of course, with the help of God and not just in our own strength. But we cannot be y'all letting rage and making y'all hate this man and hating the. I just can't do it, But just because I don't hate him, don't mean I support him either. We got to keep that in mind. But people think it's either one or the other, and that's not the case. WSMD, what's your man doing in this situation? Honestly, men should see God on what to do next. I don't agree with, kill unaliving people in front of their families and, ripping people apart, because that does bring back flashbacks of slavery. I'm not going to lie. When people ripping families apart and separating them and all that stuff, but I'm not going to sit here, and I'm going to say that the people in ICE, some of the workers are overstepping their boundaries as far as how they're going about it. But then, because some of this stuff is just a little extreme, it just is. It's just too extreme. I get you have a job to do, but again, that's why I said some of them are abusing their power. And like I said, I don't support ICE, but I'm just saying, it's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to revisit this at a later date. Now I have more intel as to what I really want to go in depth about. Like I said, just covering for today. So thank y'all for joining me for the live stream. I'm going to try to have a guest. No one tell y'all, talk show coming soon. Talk show coming soon. I'm going to throw it out there, so I got to live by it. All right, y'all. That is all we got for today. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And always remember, I love